What up, what up? How you doing, William? That was a relatively quick start as well, fun fact. As sad as it may be to admit. Um, I'm excited. Today, we're gonna continue the grind for a shiny Charmander, and hopefully, minimum, we're gonna get 2,000 resets today. That's my goal. I have a goal of 2,000 resets. We'll see here. Let me get the music booted up. And also, I guess before I turn on the music, I should say that my chat has done a very good job of keeping me honest throughout these live streams. So, someone messaged me between the last shiny hunting live stream and this shiny hunting live stream, and they told me that apparently in my last shiny hunting live stream, I skipped 2 resets worth of Charmanders. So, what I mean by that, to explain it in kind of simple terms, is the number right now on screen says 1600, as does it on my clicker here, 1600. But apparently, after last stream, I only had 1,592 shinies. So I need to update that. So the number is going to sit at 1,592, and we'll have to do 2 resets of 4 to catch back up to the clicker here. That way we're being honest, we're being truthful, and I'm not, you know, I'm not making the numbers bigger than they are. You know, I'm not trying to lie with this series. I want to be honest and not exaggerate. All right, we're not cooking the books. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, that was a lot of talk. Just to explain that we're gonna do 2 resets here, and after those 2 resets, we can continue increasing the number on screen, the reset counter on screen. Thank you for the subscription, GG in 2025 on YouTube. I appreciate it. Though now I think about it, very strange it didn't give you a notification. Let's see if I can look into that. Maybe fix that. You should have got a notification on screen. Let me see here. Why did that not play a notification? I don't know. It shows it up there, and dropped a Pokeball in the bit jar. But for some reason, it's not playing the sound. So weird. Okay, well, apologies. I'll see if I can get that fixed between now and the next stream. Anyways. Oh, shoot. There we go. Alright. I'll see if I can get that fixed between now and the next stream. My apologies, brother. Alright, so we did one of our resets for the night to catch back up. We just gotta do one more. I do think it's crazy, by the way, that my chat is not only paying so much attention to these streams that they're catching, you know, when I mess up the numbers. They're literally so aware of when I mess something up, but they're also going out of their way to like tell me that I messed up the numbers, which actually I appreciate. I'm glad people are calling me out because I don't want the number on screen to be wrong. So whenever I forget to update the number, I want the chat to tell me that I forgot to update the number. Okay. Excuse me, sir. I have something very important I need to talk to you about. What's up, Narco? How are we doing today? God dang it, I keep pressing the wrong buttons. Alright. Just like that, we're at 1,600. Both on the reset counter, as well as the clicker here. So everything's caught up. We're once again being truthful, not only with ourselves, but with the chat, and also with the Lord above. Honest. That's what they call me. They call me Honest Caleb. You familiar with the Borderlands series? I am. I'm actually a big fan of Borderlands. I own all of the Borderlands games, except for, I guess, technically 4. I don't own, but it just came out, so feel like that's not too egregious. Yeah, I have all the Borderlands games. I love Borderlands 2. It's probably my favorite one. I haven't tried 4 yet, just because I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews from different people. Some people love it, some people don't like it. Still need to check it out for myself. Hey, what's up? How you doing, super guy? What are we at here? 1604? I think so. We're just gonna keep grinding. I think the goal for the night is to get to minimum 2,000 resets. If we have more time, we can go above and beyond that, but minimum 2,000 resets. I don't think it's that crazy either. It should only take us like 2-3 hours to do that. We'll see. I mean, as long as I don't make any like egregious mistakes. Which is one problem I've been having. Playing 4 games at once, I sometimes just make the dumbest mistakes where I press the wrong button or do the wrong thing, and then it slows this entire process down. So as long as we can be smart about how we go about this, we'll be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. We got some chill music playing in the background tonight. Just because, I don't know, I need some relaxing vibes. I'm so exhausted. And you would think then maybe it's not a good idea to play relaxing music. It's just going to make me want to fall asleep more. But like, I just couldn't bring myself to play like EDM in the background. Just listening to hype dubstep. I'm just not in the mood for it tonight. I probably should, because again, it would wake me up, but that's okay. 1 and 2 I spent months of my life on, so nostalgic. But 3 and 4 have been just disappointing. That happens a lot nowadays with games. COD's been trash since Black Ops 3. I kind of agree with you there. I feel like COD has not been good in a while. But yeah, I also agree with your comment on Borderlands. Like, I love Borderlands 2. It's my favorite in the series. I have Borderlands 3. But I don't know if I could say that I love it. You know? It's just kind of there. It just exists. And like I said, I've heard such mixed reviews from my friends who did buy Borderlands 4 about whether or not it's worth it. So I still haven't even bought it because I don't know if it's worth it. I only play old games nowadays. Same. I mean, quite literally same. That's why I'm playing 2 Game Boys and 2 DSs at the same time. I want to play some retro games on stream. And thankfully, once we do find the shiny, I only have to play 1 game at a time, and I can actually stream that game directly. Like, I can screen capture it with a capture card. The only reason I can't screen cap currently is because I don't have 4 capture cards. I only have 1 capture card for one of these devices. Which, you know, understandable. I don't got the money for 4 capture cards. If I did, though, we wouldn't have to point a camera at these. We could just screen record them. But once we find the shiny and we start actually playing the game, I will have a screen recording of that, and it will be, you know, displayed on the stream with a capture card. So it'll look a lot better once we start playing the actual story of the game. I subscribed? Are you sure? Because if you subbed, it would show up on the feed above me there. I don't see it. Unless you're on a private account. If you're on a private account, I think it might not show up in the feed. Because, for example, the last person who subbed, their name was GG2025, and they're up there. But, again, I don't think it works for private accounts, so maybe that's why. If you did subscribe, thank you. I appreciate it. I just want you to get credit, you know? I want you to get credit and have your name on the screen. I feel bad. I'm not old enough for Pokemon for real. I played the Arena one on N64. That's such a good game, though. I mean, if you're gonna play one Pokemon game, especially like one of the side games, like a spin-off, that is the one you play. For sure. It's such a good game. Yeah, probably. Okay. I just wanted to double check because, you know, I feel bad. Feel bad, Super Guy. I want you to have your name on screen. Get credit for subscribing. But that's the one downside of YouTube is if people have like private accounts, I can't, you know, I can't do anything about that. YouTube just won't let me show your name on the screen. That's a YouTube thing, not a me thing. It's a YouTube problem, I would say. My favorite game as a kid was Pokemon Sapphire. That's also a very good game. My first ever video game that I owned, I should clarify, because, like, sure, I played games at, like, friends and family members' houses, but the first game I ever owned myself was Pokemon Ruby. So I have a lot of love for Pokemon Sapphire and Pokemon Ruby because they were the first video games that I ever got to play on my own. And I could, like, play games at home for the first time ever. Like, I don't know. I was always addicted to video games growing up, but like I said, for the longest time, I could only play video games if I visited a family member or visited a friend. Because I didn't have any for myself. And then once I got a copy of Pokemon Ruby, I think that altered my brain chemistry for the rest of my life. And I still don't know if it was for the better or the worse. Maybe the worse, because being addicted to video games caused me to not do very well in school. But, like, you know, I still passed. I still got mostly, like, A's and B's. But before that, I was, like, a straight A student. And then once I started playing video games, and more specifically owning video games myself that were mine and I could play whenever I wanted, that's when my grades started to drop. But again, it wasn't that bad. Like, I was still getting A's and B's. It got really, really bad when I went to college. And I also think that's when I was, like, the most addicted to video games I ever was college. Because, like, about half of the time I was at college, it was during COVID. So I couldn't, like, go out and hang out with people. I couldn't go to parties. Couldn't, like, join any clubs. I was just alone in a room attending classes on Zoom. So, like, the way I passed a lot of the time was playing video games. I would play video games in class. Like, I would have my Zoom class on my one monitor, and then on my other monitor, I'd have, like, Final Fantasy or Valorant. I played a lot of Valorant in class. Very stupid. But yeah, so my addiction to video games was definitely at its worst when I was in college, and it also caused me to get very bad grades. Like, I was barely passing some of my classes. Like, the A's and B's I used to get in high school, not a thing in college. I don't think I got a single A grade in college. Which, again, looking back is kind of embarrassing to admit because I was a very good student in school. Especially, like, before I got addicted to video games. But at the same time, you know, there are worse things to be addicted to. You know, I'm not addicted to drugs. I'm not addicted to alcohol. And I think video games is a healthier addiction. I can't say if it's had a positive or negative effect on my life. That's yet to be determined. But it definitely affected my grades. I can say that with certainty. Wait, what do you mean you were in college when COVID happened? So 2 of the years that I was in college were, like, basically at peak COVID. 2020, 2021, when, like, everything was shut down. Like, my college campus for those 2 years did not have a single in-person class. Every class was held over Zoom. So, yeah, it was kind of a bummer. I didn't really get the full college experience. Like I said, I didn't get to join, like, any clubs during that time, didn't really hang out with any friends, couldn't go out and, like, party, couldn't do anything. Like, it's part of the reason why I only have, like, 2 friends from college still. I should clarify, like 2 friends right now. I had more friends back then in college, but because we couldn't hang out with each other, um, it was a little difficult. I have to go, but when's your next live? Probably in like 2 days. I'm working tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm going to go live tomorrow. But maybe in like 2 days, we'll see. I want to play Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and that comes out in 2 days, so very, very likely that'll happen. But anyways, to finish my point, sorry. I distracted myself. Because, like, the 2 years I was in college were peak COVID, I made a couple friends, but they weren't, like, friendships that lasted, you know? Because we couldn't hang out and see each other or go places or talk in person. So I had more than 2 friends while I was in college, but now that I've, you know, been removed from college for... How long has it been? Oh my gosh. 4 years? Yeah, it's been like 4 years since I was in college. I only have 2 of those friends left. There's only 2 people from college I still talk to 4 years later. And I partially blame that on COVID. Because again, COVID made it really difficult to go out and make friends or like hang out with people, meet new people at parties or, you know, social gatherings. Kind of a bummer. I think the first game I ever owned was COD World at War. I feel like whenever I ask that question to the chat, or like someone in chat asks me what the first game they ever owned was, it's a really good way of estimating roughly how old someone is. Like, me admitting that my first ever video game was Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby, like, you can kind of put an age on me, because Pokemon Ruby was a Game Boy game. It came out in like the early 2000s. And, you know, I'm not going to be a 2-year-old playing Pokemon. That'd be kind of crazy. So you can kind of just do the math from there, you know? It's a fun little way to, like, figure out how old people are, or, like, what generation they're in. You ask someone what their first ever video game was, they say Pong. You know that they're a baby boomer. If someone says, like, The Legend of Zelda, and then you ask them which one, and they say the original, probably Gen X. It's a really good way to figure out immediately who you're talking to. Or like if you ask someone what their favorite game is, and they say like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a funny example. Oh shoot, I pressed the wrong button. Like if you ask someone what their favorite game is and they say like Brain Rot Parkour on Roblox, they're probably like Gen Alpha. Hi Abby. Oh yeah, you can take it then. Yeah, it's fine. Oh yeah, okay. No, I didn't. Thank you though. Yeah, you can have the iPad. I think it's on like 60% right now. Oh, you're okay. Yeah. Bye, Abby. Alright, where are we at? 140. Sorry, 48. Okay. My apologies. Yeah, if I had to guess, you're maybe 4 or 5 years older. You're probably right. To give you a comparison, I'm 27. 27 years old. Which, you know, I don't like admitting. I feel like I'm out of my prime. But at the same time, I had people at work the other day tell me that they thought I was younger, which was partially a compliment, but also could easily be taken as an insult. Because, like, I'm married. I live with my wife. And they thought I was, like, 20. Bro, do you think I'm getting married and moving in with someone at 20? That's crazy. I mean, like, if you're someone who did that, because I know those people are out there, and you got married at 20, and you moved in with that person at 20, and you're still in love, good for you. But I think the odds of that the odds of that actually working out in your early 20s are like 10%. I don't know. I just think like getting married that young is so more likely to end in just absolute sadness. I couldn't think of a funny word that's just depressing. But yeah, like if you get married young, you're more likely to either get divorced or like start an open relationship so you guys can keep things fresh and funky, or like get married early and then you get murdered by your significant other. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I genuinely think like if you get married at 18, 19, 20, you're more likely to be divorced, cheated on, or murdered than live a happy, loving life. But again, like when one of my coworkers thought I was in my early 20s, like they thought I had just turned 21 and could just start drinking. Compliment, kind of, but also I feel like they were subconsciously insulting my intelligence. Like, he looks like the kind of guy that would get married at 21. What an idiot. Sorry, now I'm just putting words in my coworker's mouth. My bad. Okay, close. 21. Yeah, see, that's not that far off. And then, like I said, it makes sense based off the video game conversation we had. That's pretty much what I would expect. I think the biggest problem for young relationships is learning how to respect boundaries. Love isn't enough to keep going. Oh, 100%. Like, I've been made fun of before for my first date story with my wife. Like, my dad makes fun of me because of the way we, I guess, kind of approached our first date. So, for context, when I went on my first date with my wife, we both had planned out in advance, ahead of time, our like deal breakers. You know, things that we didn't want out of a partner. Which, for me, made sense. Like, I just thought that was smart. Like, I went into it with pretty obvious ones, pretty basic ones. Like, no drugs. Don't cheat on me. And then she had similar things like no smoking. And there were some more, you know, niche examples. But I think both of us had the mindset that, like, cool, this is a fun little first date. But if we aren't, you know, if we aren't going to be able to coexist, then let's not waste our time. Like if she showed up to that first date and told me that she was addicted to crack cocaine, I'd have been like, oh, good for you. Let's enjoy this meal, and then we don't gotta talk again. You know? Like, this was a nice dinner. Have a good life. But thankfully, we both showed up to that first date with our deal breakers. Neither of us broke those deal breakers or you know, caused any concern for the other person. So, we were able to continue going on dates. Eventually, I asked her to be my girlfriend. A couple years later, asked her to be my wife. And then a couple years later, we actually got married. Like, again, it seems silly, and my dad makes fun of me because he thinks it's, like, robotic and not very normal. Like, I've had people call me weird for going into a first date with a list of deal breakers. But my wife had the same mentality. She was pretty much the same way about it. And I think we both had the mentality that, like, we just didn't want to waste our time. Again, like, dinner was nice, but I'm looking for someone to actually have a loving, healthy, coexisting relationship with. And if that works, cool, we can keep going on dates. If not, have a good dinner. See you never. Some people might think it's weird, but, like, I'm the type of person where I don't want to waste my time, and she's the exact same person, so I think it worked out because of that. I don't know. Like I said, to me, it's not weird, but I can understand why other people think it's weird, like my dad, to go into a first date and instead of the stereotypical questions you ask on a first date being like, do you have any siblings? Our questions were, do you smoke pot? Do you do you inject heroin? I don't know. Coworkers say crazy things, man. I have 2004 tatted on my neck, and this kid asked me, that was the year I had my first kid. That was the year I was born. How do you confuse the two? Did they just think you were having kids? Like, the womb? What are we doing here? They look at you and they think to themselves, yeah, that person's probably a medical anomaly. The youngest to ever give birth. You popped out the womb, and your kid popped out the womb with you. Like, what, bro? That's insane. Nah, man, if you go into a first date with a list, that's how you know it's not just for fun. You're trying to settle down, not waste your time. I'm happy for y'all. Yeah, no, I agree. Especially because, like, I'd already been in a couple relationships that just did feel like a waste of time. And I should have known better. Like, there was one girl I dated who literally told me, like, she didn't think we were going to stay together forever. And, like, I didn't really think about it. I didn't second guess it. I didn't even question it. Like, it didn't ring any alarm bells in my head because I don't know, I didn't care, I guess. I was very casual about that relationship. It was basically just a way for me to, like, have a companion, to not be alone, which is the exact opposite mentality that I think you should have going into a relationship. Which is why I'm glad that I, like, grew up, matured out of that, and by the time I met my wife, we were both, like, in that mentality of, let's not waste our time. We weren't trying to, you know, mess around. Yeah, I look back at, that was the first relationship I ever had, because I lived a pretty sheltered life growing up. Like, my parents were very strict, very religious, and therefore I wasn't really able to go out and, like, meet people or, like, go on dates with girls when I was in high school. And while there can be some benefits to growing up in a strict household, one of the downsides of it, I think one of the almost unspoken effects of growing up in a strict household is the second you're able to go out on your own, you're going to end up as one of two kind of archetypes. You're going to be the kid that's too scared to do anything or go anywhere or learn any new experiences because you grew up sheltered, and now that you're on your own, you're continuing that trend and sheltering yourself and continuing that pattern. Or you're going to be the kid that grew up in a sheltered home, and the second they're allowed to be out on their own, they course correct and almost overcorrect and just become, like, the opposite of what their parents wanted them to be. And I think that was low-key what I did. I wasn't able to, like, ever have a girlfriend when I was living with my parents in, you know, middle school, high school. And therefore, because I could never go out on dates or have a girlfriend, the second I got to college, the first girl that even, like, paid me any attention, I immediately asked out. Immediately got in a relationship with her. Which, it's not healthy. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that was one negative reaction to growing up in a very, like, sheltered home. I also, like, had a very big drinking problem in college, which thankfully do not have anymore. Meanwhile, like, I never drank the first 18 years of my life. Like, because I grew up in a very strict household, I wasn't allowed to drink. But then when I go out to college on my own, I was drinking way too much. So I think that was one of the downsides of it. And to go back to my original point, to circle back, I think part of the reason I was okay being in a relationship that was very casual, and I was okay dating this girl who literally told me she didn't think that we would be together forever. Like, I was okay with that because I was just excited to finally be in a relationship or to finally like go out and party. You know, my entire life I was like not allowed to leave the house. Why did I just turn that off? I'm an idiot. Give me 1 second. What am I doing? Something is wrong with me. Hold up. Okay, none of these are shiny. We need to play this one again because I accidentally turned it off before I checked if the Charmander was shiny or not. Give me a second. I don't know what I did. I don't know why I did that. I grabbed the Charmander like I'm doing right now. And then after Gary grabs his Squirtle, I just turned the system off. What is wrong with me? Oh, that's funny. Alright, that's not shiny either. Alright, now that we're all caught up, we're turning all of these off again. We're trying again. But yeah, I don't know. I look back at that and I think that, like, I must have been a crazy person. Like, when I look back at that previous relationship, I ask myself how I was okay being in that situation. Because nowadays, like, I'm a very serious person. I mean, that goes without saying. And when it comes to my relationships, like, I'm very serious about the seriousness of that. That's so redundant to say. Oh my god, sorry. I sound like an idiot. But, like, you get the point. I care a lot about the relationships I have with people, not just the relationship I have with my wife. And I want those relationships to be real. That's how I think nowadays. So that's why it's so crazy to look back at, like, college Caleb and my willingness to just be in a casual relationship that I knew was not going to last. That's what's cool about life, man. I was an orphan and did any and everything I wanted. And I mean, I feel like that could almost have the opposite effect. Depending on, again, how you decide to use that life that you're given. 21, got my own apartment, car. I'm not into the young antics because I didn't have someone telling me. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I think that's, like, the best mentality you can have. Especially nowadays. I was just talking about this the other day on stream. But I feel like nowadays people don't, like, count their blessings. They just always think about something that isn't going their way in their life or something they could be doing better in their life. And while it's not bad to strive for better, like, I'm constantly trying to better myself. Just this year, I left my previous job and started a new one because I wanted to find something with better pay and better professional growth. But again, while it's not bad to, like, always want to better yourself, I think a lot of people get stuck in that mindset and that's all they can think about. They don't think about, like, the blessings they have right now. Or they just don't care and they want to, like, complain. I feel like last couple of years I've tried to focus a lot more on, like, what blessings I have and appreciate those more. That's a lot of people's first mistakes. Usually your first love is there just to teach you a big lesson. You taught your self-worth. Yeah, you're not wrong there. This is why would you stay with someone that doesn't want you? Yeah, you know, I wonder the same thing nowadays. But it definitely taught me a lot of like maturity, and it even taught me like things about myself that I had to work on and improve. And I don't know, I even try to count that as a blessing, because like if I had never gone through that shitty relationship, I probably would not have improved those things about myself. I would not have experienced that growth and maturity. And then if I didn't go through all that, by the time I met my wife, I would still be the same immature, dumb kid that I was. But because I did go through it, by the time I met my wife, like, I was a compatible partner for her. And, you know, it's still not perfect. Always trying to, like, grow and improve and just be the best partner that I can be. But I think having that experience ahead of time helped me actually, you know, create a loving relationship that I'm still in today. Which I'm thankful for, because, again, if I was that immature version of myself still, I don't think I would be married to my current wife. And if I was, God help her. She would have had to probably put up with a lot of bullshit. Unlucky. 1700. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think you constantly have to like learn and grow, and some people don't focus on that. They don't even think about it. And I just feel like that's a missed opportunity on like your life. I know that's a very broad term, but like if you live your life never trying to learn anything new or like grow or improve yourself, then I feel that as a waste. I don't like speaking on other people's, you know, lives, but like for me personally, I would feel like I was wasting what little time I have in my life just staying stagnant. And that's why you gotta count your blessings. Now you're in a happy marriage. Exactly, exactly. You know, I said I wasn't gonna listen to like hype music today, and then somehow this got on the playlist. Somehow this made it into the shuffle. Not really sure how. My plan was to try to chill out to some lo-fi, relax tonight before I pass out. It's okay, I'm down with it. Yeah, I still think my goal is going to be 2,000 resets. I want to get to 2,000 a night. I don't know, we still got a ways to go. With the odds being 1 in 8,000, I don't have high hopes. Now, granted, you know, statistically, even though the odds are 1 in 8,000, we could have got that 1 in 8,000 chance our first attempt. So, part of me, like, I don't know, half of my brain thinks, like, oh, the odds are 1 in 8,000, it could happen anytime. But then the other part of my brain is, like, far more mathematical and logical. And it's basically telling me that we're not going to get a shiny until minimum 8,000 resets. But, you know, that's okay. That's why we're playing 4 games at once, so we can speed that process up. Instead of our odds being 1 in 8,000, they're technically 1 in 2,000 right now. We'll see. That's also not really mathematically correct, but whatever. I like to just lie to myself sometimes. Hey, what's up, Hollow Man? Finally got the achievement in Dead by Daylight that was making me lose my hair, since it was so frustrating to get. I know we've talked a lot about your like achievement hunting grind in Dead by Daylight. Are you almost done with that game? How many do you have left? I also couldn't imagine achievement hunting in a multiplayer game because there'd just be so much stuff left up to like chance, and also so many things that are out of your control based off what your random teammates end up doing or not doing. A curse most gamblers have, I'm sure. Dude, that's so funny to word it like that. You know, my odds are technically 1 in 2,000, not 1 in 8,000. Might as well spin again. Yeah, I'm well aware. I have a very addictive personality, as we kind of talked about at the beginning of the stream. Like, I am definitely addicted to video games. And therefore, I'm kind of glad that I don't have any vices that are worse than video games. Like, we talked as well about how I used to have a drinking problem in college. And I think the reason I had a drinking problem in college was not only because, like, I grew up that very sheltered life and was trying to overcorrect from that. I think that played a part of it. Like, growing up sheltered, going to college, and then wanting to party, like, get the full experience. That was part of the reason that I drank a lot. But I think the other reason I drank a lot is just because I have an addictive personality. So I'm glad I don't drink anymore. And I'm also glad that, like, I've never once gambled. I've never even done, like, a scratch off. Because I worry that my addictive personality would lead me to just completely nosediving down that rabbit hole. Especially, like, if you get a hit your first go around. Like, say I went out to a casino with $200 and I come out of there with 400. That would only make me want to go back. Like, so that's why I have just avoided gambling altogether. I don't even like doing scratch off tickets. One year, my parents got all of us, and by us I mean me and my siblings. They got me and my siblings scratch off tickets just as like a stocking stuffer, and I gave it to my wife because I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to let that affect my psyche, because I also just don't trust myself. Oh shoot. 1720. Let me update the number on screen there. Make sure the reset counter is correct. I have 15 achievements left that I can get. Technically, though, I need 35 more, but I don't have the DLC required for it. You know, I think we have talked about this, actually, because I'm pretty sure I went on a very long rant about how much I hate when video games require DLC to 100% the achievements. That's like my biggest pet peeve, especially because like I love unlocking achievements in video games, specifically on Steam. I'm a big achievement hunter on Steam, and there's a couple games that I own that I have every Steam achievement in the base game, but I don't have the DLC, and therefore I don't have 100% completion of the achievements. And that makes me so mad. I don't know, man. I just think it's a shitty move to hide achievements and lock achievements behind a paid DLC. We've agreed on the things talked about, but one thing you said you're against is pot. Oh, so that actually wasn't me. That's my wife. One of my wife's deal breakers was just smoking in general. That wasn't one of my deal breakers. Sorry, to clarify. I realized that conversation, that story was a little confusing because I was going all over the place. But yeah, to reiterate and explain the story a little bit better. When we both showed up to that first date with our deal breakers, mine was like, you know, to give a basic bitch example, one of mine was just no hard drugs, but one of hers was smoking, which kind of worked out because neither of us did either of those things. I do smoke weed on the daily. See, I think going out and drinking once a month isn't that bad, though. I considered it. Like, just last night, my wife and I went out to dinner with two of our friends. It was like a nice little double date. And, like, I considered ordering something. Especially because I wasn't driving home. But, like, I don't know. I still just don't trust myself. I don't think, like, if anything, I've heard from people. I don't know how true this is because I haven't done the research myself, but, like, I've heard having, like, a drink once a week is good for you. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly how true that is. You did go on a rant about that, but it got brought up over a different game? Really? I don't even remember what game we were talking about. I just remember ranting about it. Oh, it was Hollow Knight. Really? Man, my memory must be terrible because I don't remember ranting about Hollow Knight. I remember ranting about achievements, and specifically achievements being locked behind a paid DLC. Somehow I have no recollection of Hollow Knight being the subject of conversation. Definitely addicted, but I work hard to allow myself to have vices that aren't good for me. I like video games, probably play like 2-3 nights of the week. Definitely better things to be addicted to. Yeah, I 100% agree. And maybe it's a fallacy to tell myself that and be like, it's okay that you're addicted to video games because at least you're not addicted to something worse. That's probably not the best thing to tell yourself. I acknowledge that. I probably shouldn't use that as justification for myself. But at least it's something like productive. That I can agree with. And I like, to your point, like I don't think either of those in your last chat message are like worrisome things. Like there are worse things that you could be addicted to. Like, I don't know. I think my line, if I had to like draw a line in the sand, would be farther out than, you know, weed or video games. I draw my line in the sand at like being addicted to like sex or something, or like hard drugs. Because I know people who have been like, sorry, I realize this may be a little silly to use sex as an example, but like I know people who have lost relationships over their addiction to sex. Like they just couldn't help themselves from cheating, which ultimately resulted in like them getting divorced. Like I have at least 2 examples of that from my like family and friends. People that have lost their spouse because they were too addicted to sex. So I think I would draw my line in the sand there. Like something like that. Or again, like hard drugs. You know, if you're addicted to cocaine, I'm not going to say that's okay. I'm not going to support that, you know? But like weed and video games, I don't think that's, you know, anywhere near my threshold. You weren't ranting about Hollow Knight. You praised it when I brought up that the DLC was free. You have to purchase. Oh, dude, this is all making sense now. It's all coming back to me. Oh, okay. Thank you, Hollow Man. That makes sense. I do remember this conversation now. Because I was talking about that, you know, I hate when games lock achievements behind DLC, as I've already said once tonight. And then you were talking about Hollow Knight and how Hollow Knight had the free DLC. Oh my god, that was only a couple days ago that we had this conversation too. That's the crazy thing. We had this conversation like 3-4 days ago. And I already forgot it. Oh my god. That's so funny. They kind of go hand in hand, TBH. Yeah, they do. You're not wrong, brother. That's funny. I don't know why. I just like completely blanked out on what I was trying to do. But yeah. I think my addiction to video games is very apparent by the fact that we're playing 4 games at once tonight, but that's also just because I love me a good shiny hunt. Shiny Pokemon could be classified as like a sub addiction within my video game addiction. So that one comes and goes. I'm always playing video games, but I'm not always playing Pokemon. Lately, I've been trying to play different games and expand my, I don't know, library of video games. But it hasn't gone that well. We played a couple new games this year. You know, I've played a couple things that I've never played before this year. But I still struggle to go back to like the same 4 or 5 video games all the time. Like, I'm always either playing a Pokemon game, Minecraft, like a shooter game, or like Stardew Valley. I love Stardew Valley. I'm constantly just playing the same games, which is a habit I'm trying to break. Slowly trying to break out of that cycle. I have some errands to run. It was nice talking to you. What's up, now see you around. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful night. I see this is the second time tonight that the sub hasn't shown up on screen, but I think it might be a problem on YouTube's end. Like I said, sometimes people's subs don't show up, and I think it's if they have their like subscription list private, which is such a bummer. I wish YouTube would change that. But thank you for the sub. Apologies you didn't get your name on screen, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Don't feel bad. When I stream, I quickly forget about a lot of what is said in the chat. It's not that I don't care, which, same here. I feel like I should say that. It's not that I don't care. I think it's sometimes that I just have a terrible memory, and also like there's so much that can go on in a chat in one stream alone that remembering my conversations from a chat 5 streams ago is difficult. I also agree, Holoban. Like, if you're multitasking between chat and the game, it's way harder to retain that information and actually store it into your brain. Like, I'll catch myself sometimes, especially if I'm playing a game that requires a lot of my attention, like a shooter game, for example. I'll catch myself responding to the chat almost in a subconscious way. Like, I'll look over, read the chat, say something, and then immediately I've already forgotten what I said. It's like I replied to the chat without even thinking. My subconscious replied to the chat. And then I catch myself and I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't even know what we're talking about because I'm so focused on the game. It's a problem. Sometimes I'll be honest about it too. Like, I will admit it to the chat. I'll be like, I'm so honest. I don't know what we're talking about right now. I have no clue what's going on right now. But, you know, that's the guarantee you'll get from me when I'm streaming, at least. The guarantee that I can give you is that I'll at least be honest, even if it's at my own detriment. You'll never have to worry about me, you know, feeding you some bullshit response, because if I do accidentally respond with something BS, 10 seconds later I'll be like, I have no clue what I just said, and it was probably stupid. Because, you know, sometimes my responses to the chat, they come out of the back of my subconscious, and I have no clue what the fuck I'm actually saying. I also think, like, you know, a lot of streamers nowadays, they try to play like a persona of themselves, which is very good for getting views. Like, if you play a character you can cater that character to be as likable as possible, or to get you as many viewers of a certain demographic as possible. For example, I feel like a lot of streamers nowadays, the character they play is either like a clown, not literally, you know, they're not putting on a wig and makeup and a red ball on their nose, but what I mean when I say clown, like, people will make fun of themselves or others when they're a streamer or a YouTuber, really any type of content creator, because making fun of themselves or making fun of someone else is a very good way for people to get views, especially with younger audiences. Like, they'll see a video of a streamer making fun of themselves and they think it's like funny, and then they'll go and follow them on Twitch and show up in their chat and like make jokes about the streamer. And the streamer's like, not only their personality, not only their character becomes making fun of themselves, but like their chat develops this almost character in and of itself. The chat becomes its own character that makes fun of the streamer. And again, it does create a lot of popularity for those people. It creates a lot of viewership for those people. But to me, it just feels like an ick. Conversely, you'll have streamers who like get really popular because they make fun of other people. And I think that's also just kind of gross. I don't know. But to go back to my original point, nowadays, content creators online, they'll like create a character of themselves, and that character is usually one of two things. The first one we just talked about, being kind of a clown, and the second one is just like being a hype beast. Like, everything you ever do is the most exciting thing you've ever done, and then don't worry, chat, tomorrow we're doing something even more hype. Like, today we're blowing up a Ferrari, tomorrow we're blowing up 2 Ferraris. And that one also gets a lot of views with the younger demographic. And I think the reason those two character types are so popular is because they both cater to kids of a younger demographic, and kids are going to be the most popular demographic you'll have online. They're going to be at least the most populous, because there's more kids watching a Twitch stream than 40-year-olds, obviously. So if you can cater your content to children, you're more likely to get views. I say all this just to kind of explain my frustration, especially lately, with live streaming. And it's less frustration on myself. I'm not frustrated about my stream or my, small viewership. I'm happy with that. Like, I think it's fine because this is just a hobby for me. When I say that I'm frustrated, it's not frustration within myself, but frustration towards the live streaming community. Because I used to love watching streamers and YouTubers and being a part of their communities. Like, I would show up to the same couple streamers chats every day and be an active member in those streamers' communities. But nowadays, the most popular streamers are these character types, and they're not characters that I like want to watch. They're not characters that I find to be entertaining, nor do I find them to be like good people. I'll be honest. A lot of like your popular streamers nowadays are very unfun for someone like me. I don't like watching someone make fun of themselves or make fun of others for views. And I don't like someone faking this hype beast persona also for views. Additionally, I feel like nowadays, more often than not, popular YouTubers, popular streamers are just shitty people. Like, every other day, you'll read a Twitter thread about this streamer groomed me when I was 14 years old. Or you'll see a YouTube video about a content creator getting exposed for like beating the shit out of their girlfriend. Or you'll get a news article of this big content creator scammed their fans by rug pulling a fucking coin online, like a meme coin. And I don't know. It's always been a thing where very popular people are shitty, but I think it's grown on platforms like Twitch and YouTube, because when Twitch and YouTube were first created, like in their infancy, they almost had the appeal of being these smaller communities where, like, a popular YouTuber 10 years ago, let alone 20 years ago, wasn't a celebrity the way that, like, some YouTubers are nowadays. And I think that was almost a good thing. Like, there are pros and cons to it. Like, it's great that more people can make money online nowadays than they could 20 years ago. But also, more people online are likely to be scumbags. And not just scumbags, but popular scumbags nowadays than they were 20 years ago. Because 20 years ago, there wasn't an incentive to scam your audience on YouTube for money. Because your audience on YouTube was like 2,000 people. And that was the most popular channel 20 years ago. So, like, there was less reason to scam your audience because, sure, scam your audience of 2,000 people. You'll maybe make a couple $100. Nowadays, you'll see YouTubers and Twitch streamers scam their audience with a fucking meme coin and rug pull that coin, and they make millions. And, like, half the time people don't even give a fuck. They still have viewers afterwards. That, to me, is crazy. And I know I'm going on, like, a long rabbit hole ass topic. This conversation has gotten so far off from the original topic. But, like, I don't know, man. I'm very frustrated with the live streaming space online, as well as just content creation in general, because it feels like it's lost a lot of the luster. And people are way more shitty nowadays. And the way people get views nowadays, I just don't fuck with it. Like, I don't fuck with the trend of going on a TikTok live and starting a battle with someone where you're just making fun of them the entire time as a way to get views and rake in those donations. And I want to reiterate just one more time, in case anyone wasn't here at the beginning of this topic of conversation, I'm not frustrated because I'm not getting views. I could give a fuck less. I have a real job. I have a wife. This is just fun for me. I'm frustrated because it makes live streaming less fun for me, because I don't want to be associated with, like, a platform that just promotes shitty scumbag scam artists. Like, I don't want to be associated with that. And I nowadays don't even like saying that, like, I live stream on Twitch and TikTok and YouTube. Like, I don't like admitting to other people, especially, like, new people that I meet for the first time. I don't like admitting to those people that I'm a content creator on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, because I just feel like there's so much negativity associated with those platforms. Which sucks. It's a bummer. I should be proud of the fact that, like, I make content as a hobby. Like, it's a fun hobby. But, I don't know. Anyways, I apologize. I've been ranting for a really long time, and we really fell down the rabbit hole there to the point where I don't even remember what the original topic was, and I haven't read some of the chat messages recently because I was ranting. So, my bad. Let me catch up on the chat a little bit here. It's very unlikely and probably won't happen, but I find it hilarious your shiny could happen on all 4 devices at the same time. That would be crazy. I think that would be, like, what would be the odds of that? Like 1 in a million? Probably more. Hold up, we should be able to do the math here. Give me a second. And if I can't do the math, I can just Google it. I find it annoying, TBH. It's very superficial, not genuine, and makes me question everything they say, as they can't be fully trusted if they can't be themselves. 100%. And that's, like, part of the reason I'm so frustrated and so bummed out about content creation nowadays, because some of the people who are the biggest content creators, the most popular, are so fake that, like, even if they make good content, even if they're a good person who makes good content, they're not scamming their audience, they're not, grooming teenagers, even if they are this, like, model citizen, their personalities oftentimes so obviously fake that, like, why would I support someone if I'm just supporting, like, a character? It would be the same as, like, being a devout fan of someone from a TV show. Like, you're not a fan of the actor, you're a fan of the character on a TV show, which I know some people do. Some people are huge fans of TV characters, but that's just not me, and that's not something that I can really get with. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't make me feel like a proud viewer of those streamers. So, like, a lot of streamers nowadays I just don't enjoy, and it does sound exhausting, as you said in the chat. Like, it sounds very exhausting to just be this character of yourself and to never be genuine and to just do whatever it is to get views, even if it is opposite of who you are inside. And I don't know. I don't like watching those kind of streamers. Like, I think one of my favorite streamers lately has been someone like, and this might not be the best example because he does play a character, but his character is the opposite, like the antithesis of everything I just described. Germa is like one of my favorite streamers. And again, I realize that might make me sound a little hypocritical because he plays a character, but his character is so obviously opposite of everything I just talked about, almost to the point where it's satirical of what you think about when you think about a popular streamer. And I think that's why I like it so much and why I love his stream so much, because oftentimes the character he plays on stream makes fun of the modern stream kind of atmosphere. It makes fun of those modern streamers I just spent 10 minutes ranting about. So, I don't know. Nowadays, when I'm watching a content creator, whether it's a live streamer on Twitch or someone making YouTube videos, I care way more about whether or not that person's being genuine and sharing their, like, true self in their content than I do, care about how many fucking Ferraris you gave away to the homeless. Like, I don't give a fuck. Because, I don't know. That, to me, just comes across as performative and not entertaining. Let's take the Nintendo Switch 2, for example. What a wild way to start that comment. I'm not making fun of you. It's just the fucking least expected transition I would have ever thought in my brain. Like, that transition it's so good. Again, I'm not making fun of you. I think that's just genuinely, like, funny. Whether you meant it that way or not, that's fucking hilarious. Even though I don't want it due to anti-consumer practices, I don't care if other people get it, but I do care when people complain about how awful it is and then get it day one anyways. Oh, 100%. Like, there are valid things to complain about with the Switch too. Like, I think the games are overpriced. I think Mario Kart should have never been $80. I think it's very, very financially evil of Nintendo to announce DLC for a game before the game's even out. Like, hey guys, I know you're gonna have to spend $80 on this game that comes out in a couple months, but if you want, you can also pre-order a $20 DLC and give us $100 total. Like, those are valid things you can complain about with the Switch 2. But instead of people complaining about them in an honest way, you'll get those influencers online who are like, the Switch 2's overpriced. And then the thumbnail will just be like them smiling, like, bought a brand new Switch 2. Or like they'll complain on Twitter about how much they hate their Switch 2. But all of their content online is catered to the Switch 2 because it's popular right now. And it'll get them views. I don't know, man. I've unfollowed those people. But the ones that bought it and weren't complaining about it, I still follow / watch. Yeah, I don't know, man. A lot of people annoyed me with the Switch 2. There were so many people on Twitter that I had to like mute or just block because I wasn't even following them. They would just show up on my feed and they'd be the most obnoxious negative person about the Switch 2 ever. And again, like, you're allowed to be negative about something if you genuinely don't like it or disagree with it. But I think a lot of the people online were just starting drama almost over the Switch 2 because they wanted views and they wanted people to flood into their comments, either saying, I agree with you, the Switch 2 sucks, or saying, the Switch 2 is great, I love Nintendo. Like, they know that it's gonna generate activity on their posts, generate more traction for them. And I think that's, again, it's just not genuine, and it's not something that like I want to support. It's almost like complaining about the Switch 2 in a performative way. Oh shit. I accidentally clicked the clicker one too many times. It should be 1796, not 1797. It's okay. But I don't know. I think like nowadays, so much of what you'll see online or what you'll watch on like YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, so much content nowadays is just performative. And that's so frustrating for me. I think it's just been a growing problem. And it's only gotten worse and worse as time goes on. Like, no one can be genuine anymore. Like, everyone online nowadays is just performative. They're putting on this, like, face or this character, to go back to, you know, the topic previously. Like, everyone's putting on a character of what they want to be or what they want people to think they are. Like, how they want their fans or viewers to acknowledge them. Like people want to control the headcanon of others. It's not enough for you to be performative for yourself. You also need to be performative for your fans so you can control what they think about you. Which is insane to me. Like, that's so crazy. Just be yourself. Like, I don't know why it's so difficult for people to just be genuine. And I know, like, we've been talking about this for a while, so I'm probably repeating myself and getting a little redundant with these topics. But, like, it's, I don't know, it's just so simple to me that, like, I don't understand how it's thus so difficult for other people. Mudahar is a great example. He literally told people not to buy it and complained about how awful it was, then immediately turned around and purchased it right away, along with a lot of other people. You know, I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised about that, because Mudahar is actually someone that I unsubscribed to about a year ago now, because I was growing very tired of some of the ways he acted, either in videos or the way he reacted to situations. And again, like, something I really respected about him when I first subscribed is, like, I thought he was very honest, like, genuine, to use that word again. Like, I thought he was a very honest and genuine YouTuber. But over time, it started slowly fading away. And maybe I just had rose-tinted glasses. Maybe he was never the YouTuber I thought he was. But, like, over time, to me at least, he as a person either slowly started drifting away from that, or I just developed the maturity to realize it. And I unsubscribed to him about a year ago because I'm like, he's not the person I thought he was. And a lot of the things he would say or do, I just didn't agree with. They felt like, I don't know, contrary to the character that I originally subscribed to. And I've talked a lot about this in such a harsh way. I feel like I should clarify. I don't expect people online to be the most perfect, honest, genuine version of themselves. Because you can't be. Like, there are certain things you shouldn't share online. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all, like, every little detail about my life because I want to keep some things private. And sure, like, maybe sometimes I will over-exaggerate something to make it sound better than it is. But I think there's a difference between something like that, like me saying that, I can't think of something I lied about recently to make it sound better than it was. I'm trying to give an example from myself, just so I can be vulnerable with you guys. I can't think of one right now. What's something that I like over exaggerated? Sure, I thought of one. Sorry, it took me a second. My car accident. When I first live streamed after my car accident, first live stream back, I went on like a 10-15 minute story about it. And I definitely tried to paint the picture in this very, very over-exaggeratory light. Now, I didn't necessarily lie about anything. Like, I didn't lie about the fact that I got in a car accident. I didn't lie about the fact that it wasn't my fault. I didn't lie about the fact that, like, the dude hit me. And I didn't lie about, like, the fact that I was experiencing some crazy whiplash and my neck hurt like a bitch for about a week after. All of that was true. But I will admit, like, when I told the story about my car accident, I tried to make it sound a little bit more grandiose than it actually was, because it just sounds good on stream and it makes a better story. Like, in reality, it wasn't that crazy. I was able to slam on the brakes enough where we kind of just kissed. But again, I think that's okay. And I don't expect the people I watch online to always be genuine with their audience, let alone themselves. I think where I draw the line in the sand is when people start putting on a character, putting on a persona, or just being so performative that they've almost created this level of content that's unrelatable. Because, like, I want to relate to someone that is honest and genuine. I want to watch videos from someone who's honest and genuine. And, like, those are the types of videos that I enjoy the most. Like, I don't know. It's tough to draw, like, a set line in the sand. It's tough for me to say, like, how much someone's allowed to be disingenuous before I, like, unsubscribe for them or unfollow them on Twitter. But that line in the sand exists, and the point I'm trying to say is it's not that strict. Like, I feel like my opinions on content creators is not that crazy. Like, you're allowed to over exaggerate things. You're allowed to, not always be genuine. I don't expect people online to be this perfectly genuine and honest individual. I just think nowadays, so many people are more disingenuous than they are genuine. And that's where I draw the line in the sand. Like, if you are more of a character than you are your actual self, if you're playing a persona online more than you're sharing your actual personality, that's where I draw the line in the sand. Like, I'm not asking for much. I'm asking for like 50% of your honest, genuine self. But it feels like nowadays more people are characters and like more people are just fake. Like, majoritively so. Like I said, like, it's crazy to me. I don't know, man. And I feel like that's not asking for a lot either. Like, all I'm asking for is people to be at least like half genuine with their content. 50%. That's all I'm asking for. Just give me half. Give me half of your honest self, and then the other half can be exaggeratory fucking bullshit. But it feels like nowadays streamers and YouTubers are like not half themselves. They're not half honest. They're not even 25% honest. They're not even 25% genuine. They're like 100% a character and 100% disingenuous. And I hate it. Oh, I don't know. Sorry. I realize that we've been talking about this for so long. And I'm probably not making perfect sense because I'm trying to take an abstract concept and put it into concrete terms like 50% or, you know. I realize that doesn't work in real life. Like, there's no metric for measuring if someone is 50% genuine. But that's more of a, you know, imaginary line in the sand. That's just a way of explaining it for me. Where my... I don't know. Where my standards lie. I just can't stand that type of double standard hypocrisy. I was the same with the completionist before all of his controversy. When the controversy came out, it gave me a weird sort of gratification that's hard to explain. Really? It's almost like that meme from Dexter with Dokes. And the meme is like, I know that person's evil, but I can't prove it. Or like, I know that person sucks, but I can't prove it. I see that meme all the time nowadays because I feel like Dexter's almost gotten this second wave of popularity. Dexter's like more popular now than it was ever when the show was running. Like, don't be wrong, Dexter was a popular show when it was first coming out, but it's somehow more popular nowadays than it was back then. I love that meme. Yeah, I don't know, man. I know it's difficult to explain and put it into concrete terms, but I'm really not that picky, nor do I have that high of standards for the content creators I'm watching. I don't expect them to be perfectly honest. I don't expect them to be perfectly genuine. I'm just asking for a little bit. You know, give me a video that I can relate to, or give me a live streamer that, like, I feel good supporting. But I don't feel good supporting like most of the popular YouTubers or live streamers nowadays, because if you picked a name out of a hat, the odds of them scamming their audience or promoting a really shitty evil company via sponsorship, or the odds of them being an abuser or a groomer, like, those are more likely than if you picked a name out of a hat when it comes to popular content creators and that person's a good, like, genuine, like, just normal person. Like, that's, I think, what I'm asking for. I know I've been talking in circles for a while, and this hasn't been the most coherent rant from your boy, and I can admit that I haven't been super coherent, but I'll explain basically everything I've been ranting about in one sentence. Synopsis, if you will. All I'm asking for when I want to support a content creator is that they're a normal fucking person. That's it. I just want you to be a normal person. I'm not asking for a lot. Yeah, it definitely does feel like nowadays it's more and more difficult to find popular content creators who are normal people. And I think because of that, I've coincidentally been watching a lot more smaller content creators lately. Like, if I watch a streamer on Twitch, it's rare that I'm watching someone with more than 10,000 followers. Or if I'm like watching a YouTuber nowadays, a lot of the YouTubers I've been watching are people with only a couple thousand subscribers as well, because I feel like that's where you find some of the most genuine, relatable, and just purely entertaining content. It's not all good. I mean, don't be wrong. If someone has like 100 subscribers and they're making a 3-hour long video about like the decline of Red Lobster, it's about a coin flip. You got a 50-50 chance if that 3-hour video is good and worth your time, or if that 3-hour video is complete trash, and then you start to understand why that person doesn't have any subscribers. Like I said, it's a coin flip. Sometimes when I'm like looking up new YouTube channels to watch, I find a diamond in the rough. Someone who makes like the best content under 100 views. But then other times you'll find people and you're like, yeah, I understand why you only have 24 views. This should have less than 24 views. But it's fun. That almost makes it more fun. Trying to find smaller creators that make good content. It's like a shiny hunt. You gotta keep searching. You gotta put in the effort to find the good content. Speaking of Dexter, I still need to watch the new-ish show that came out. Yeah, I've seen clips of it on like my TikTok, but I haven't watched it yet either. It's been hard for me to take time to watch it just because I've been hearing bad things about it. Same. I've heard people say that like the plot is kind of silly and not even close to being as good as the original plot to Dexter. But I don't know, some of the clips I've seen on TikTok make the show seem worth watching. So maybe I'll give it a chance. We'll see. I also just don't have a lot of time nowadays to watch TV. All of my free time is spent looking for small YouTubers to watch. I'm out here mining for diamonds, but instead of being in the caves, I'm on YouTube searching up channels with less than 1,000 followers. I'm still gonna watch it. It's just a matter of when. That's fair. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of a bummer because I used to be subscribed to so many YouTube channels. I used to watch YouTube 24/7. I would always have it on in the background no matter what I was doing. And I feel like as the years have gone on, I've just unsubscribed from more and more people, and I watch way less because I just don't like a lot of the content that's being produced nowadays, especially like things that try to appeal to the younger demographic. I think the older I get, the less I relate to a lot of YouTubers because it's just financially beneficial to appeal to younger audiences, and I'm not that audience anymore. That's probably why I watched YouTube so much back in the day, because like I was younger and the videos were catered more towards me. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer to see like how few channels I'm actually subscribed to. I used to be subscribed to hundreds of channels. Now I'm subscribed to probably less than 100. I think it's in the double digits. And yeah, it's definitely a bit of a bummer. Now I need to know your thoughts on Australian Survivor versus the World. I know you said some stuff was spoiled for you. But if you had a chance to watch it, I want to know what you think. I have watched it, actually. I watched it pretty much live. I mean, obviously not live because, you know, I'm not in Australia. But I watched almost every episode within 24 hours of it coming out. And I thought it was really good, actually. I thought it was really, really good. I loved some of the storylines they had in there, like Luke with that one immunity challenge he had previously lost. That hit the soul, honestly. Hit me in my soul. I do think, partially because I had it spoiled for me, but also partially because of the editing, that the winner was very obvious. And again, maybe I'm just saying that because I had the winner spoiled for me on Twitter. Like, people knew the boot order of that season months before the first episode even came out, which was a bit of a bummer because, again, I saw that on Twitter without my consent, I should add. Did not look it up. It was just on my timeline. And it spoiled the entire boot order for me. But I think my only complaint, even with knowing the boot order, like, the storytelling was pretty obvious who was going to win, regardless of whether or not you had it spoiled. I also think, like, I would have liked to see a little bit more out of some characters. I feel like some characters were just completely invisible in the edit, which made it obvious like they weren't winning. Like Tommy, for example. Tommy was a non-existent character in the game. He just had like no effect on any part of the story. He was just there. And that was a bummer to see. Like, I would have loved to see more from Tommy and like hear more about Tommy's game. Yeah, he genuinely felt useless in the edit. So those are my two complaints. I felt like the winner edit was obvious. And it made the winner feel not less hype, but like less of a shock. And I also, my other complaint is just that some characters were invincible. But otherwise, I loved the season. I loved the, I think, healthy balance they had of advantages and twists. Like, for a 14-player season, I was worried there were going to be too many advantages or too many twists that would kind of fuck up the flow of the game. Like, it would make the game less of Survivor and more of just like Big Brother reindeer games. That was my fear. Like, the twists would actually cause a rift in the game of Survivor. But I think they had a healthy number of advantages and twists. I was happy with that. I liked how some of the twists worked with the locked, box that you had to find a key for, and then open that locked box without anyone else noticing. But then it caused like paranoia, especially at the end of the season where Luke, Janine, and Shawnee just broke the box open, saw that there was nothing inside it, and then they figured out, well, someone unlocked the box. I actually really liked that. I thought that was kind of like great storytelling, and it was just so cool to see. But I really, really liked the season. I I don't know, man. It might be one of my favorite seasons of Survivor since 40. No, actually, I will say it with my chest. That is my favorite season of Survivor since US Survivor season 40. If I could have changed only one thing the entire season, it would have been the final 3. Yeah, I was a little sad Shawnee didn't get to the final 3. I was rooting for her more than anyone that season. And while I thought there was a healthy number of advantages, the one downside of the advantages they had in the game this season is that everyone, towards the end at least, just kind of held on to them, which resulted in a final 5 where Shawnee was kind of screwed. Like, final 5 with 2 idols and an immunity necklace results in a 50-50 shot you're going home. Like, we were getting dangerously close to another Suri is voted out by default type situation, which is not a good thing. That's not something I like in Survivor. I like when there are advantages. I don't like when advantages lead to someone like getting voted out by default. And final 5 of that season was a little rough. And again, maybe I'm just biased because I like Shawnee. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying that because I wanted her to win. But that's okay. I can have my bias. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Oh my god. Sorry. I feel like I get so distracted sometimes that, like, I just make the silliest mistakes. Like, right there, for example, I was playing 2 games at once instead of all 4. I don't know why. Like, I have 4 systems in front of me, 4 games in front of me, and I know that I'm supposed to be playing all of them at the same time, but for some reason my brain was only playing 2 of them. Alright. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Suri set a new record of being the only contestant to lose fire 3 times in their Survivor career? I don't think it's 3, is it? She made fire in her first season. Yeah, she made fire her first season. And then in Fans vs. Favorites, she was just voted out by Amanda. Heroes vs. Villains, she got idled out by Tom. And in Game Changer, she was eliminated by default because of the number of advantages there were at Final 6. Which is crazy and stupid. That was a big misstep by production. But I think this is only the second time she made fire. Or at the very least, the second time she was eliminated due to fire. I should clarify. And in this season, she technically did lose fire twice in this season. But that got Tony voted out the first time, not herself. Oh, rip Tony. That's okay. I'm not a huge Tony fan, so I didn't care. Don't get me wrong. I think Tony was amazing in season 40. He deserved to win Winners at War. And I think he was the most deserving person to be crowned sole survivor of Winners at War. I don't have an issue with Tony from season 40. The reason I'm not a huge Tony fan is because I think his win in Cagayan was heavily handed to him with a broken super idol. Like, if he didn't have a super idol, I don't think he wins Cagayan. And that's why I have an issue with Tony, because I think the super idol is a complete, just overpowered misuse of power by production. Like, It is a completely broken advantage. So I have, you know, less respect for that win. Like, I know people love Kageon, they love Tony, and I think Kageon's an entertaining season. But, like, strategically, I don't like that season. And to me, the strategy is the most important thing. The thing I care about most isn't, like, the characters. It isn't the, like, flashbacks to when they were a kid and they were bullied. It isn't the loved ones scenes or the reward challenges. I don't give a fuck about any of that. What I love Survivor for is the strategy, and I feel like season... Oh, why am I blanking on the number? Whatever. The number doesn't matter. Kageon had pretty frustrating strategy because of Tony's super idol. Like, his super idol broke the game, and it broke a lot of the players, and I hated that. So I don't know. I didn't really care that Tony got voted out early in Australia versus the world because I don't love Tony that much, I'll be honest. I think his game in Winners at War was good, but he, in my opinion, should have never even been in Winners at War because I don't think he deserved to win Kageon. I mean, he deserved it, but he should not have. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Like, he deserved to win Kageon, but I just... If I was on production, I would have never allowed a super idol to exist, and then he would not have won Kageon if he didn't have a super idol. That's my point. If I was in control of the game show Survivor, there would be no super idol, and therefore there would be no Tony in Winners at War, because he would not have won. Okay. We keep going. I also thought Suri wouldn't win because she was on the cast list for Survivor 50 that got leaked. And I just figured if she won this season, then she would not have agreed to be on Survivor 50. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I never really thought about it like that. But that makes sense. I'll be honest, I'm not very excited about the cast for Survivor 50. I think a lot of the people they invited back, they only invited back for, like, good TV, instead of inviting back the best players of all time. Like, instead of Survivor 50 being the best players of all time, which is what it should have been, a lot of it is just, like, the most entertaining players of all time, or players with the most followers on Twitter. Like, I think that they're bringing Q back is a complete joke to the show. Like, Q threatened to quit more times than I can count. He was terrible strategically. And he was just an annoyance to everyone else on the cast. But because he was entertaining, and he was a popular character, they're bringing him back. Like, it is a complete disservice, in my opinion, to the sanctity of Survivor that Q is on Survivor 50, but Jesse from Survivor 43 got cut. He was in the, original cast, but got cut from the cast to make room for other people. And we don't know who Jesse got cut for specifically. But if I'm being honest with you, I think anyone, almost anyone, not everyone, maybe not like Suri, but pretty much 90% of that cast, Jesse deserves to be on 50 more than them. So pretty much anyone who Jesse got cut for, and anyone who took Jesse's spot, doesn't deserve it over Jesse. I think Jesse is one of the best players to never win in the new era. More than Charlie. And I love Charlie, and Charlie's on the cast. But I would rather have Jesse than Charlie. I would trade Jesse for Charlie, which is saying something because I love Charlie. I think Charlie is the most robbed winner of the new era. Like, Jesse's the best to never win, but he went out at 4th place. Charlie is the best to make it to Final Tribal and not win. And I think the fact that he didn't win is a mistake on the part of that jury. I honestly think Rick Devens is overrated. I fully agree, brother. I fully agree. I think Rick Devens was not a good player and just got lucky with the Edge of Extinction twist and then got lucky with idols. And I sorry, I'm reading more of your chat message. I agree as well. He refused to work with people that voted him out, which in turn put him at the bottom of like every alliance. Yeah, his social game was terrible. He was also, yeah, on the bottom of like every vote, not voting correctly. He just had idols and he had luck on his side. He almost never voted correctly, but he would have won the game if he got to the end, which is insane to me. Almost more insane than the person getting voted out third winning that season. I think that was also a mistake on the part of that jury. And it's not even the jury's fault, really, because Chris was able to, like, schmooze him up for fucking 20 days. And therefore everyone loved him. And no one on that jury was really personally bitter against him because he didn't personally vote them out. Which is a big part of jury management. How do you vote people out without making them hate you? Well, Chris didn't have to worry about that because he didn't fucking vote half of them out. Like, it just eliminates the most integral part of Survivor. Like, that is what makes Survivor so difficult. How do you vote people out and then get their vote at the end? Chris didn't have to worry about that. Speaking of another winner that I don't think deserves it, like Tony and Kagian or Kenzie in Survivor 46, I think Chris does not deserve his win. Production just fucked up. I disagree with a lot of the decisions production makes, both in Survivor, Big Brother, and like the challenge. But I think Edge of Extinction was one of the worst decisions they ever made because it was so stupid. It's just such a dumb twist. And then they gave him an idol for free when he got back in the game. That's also stupid. Like, that's overpowered. Not only did he win his way back in the game, which is already overpowered, but then you give him an idol for free. That's moronic. What are we doing here? That's so stupid. But yeah, no, I think Devin's heavily overrated and should not be on the Survivor 50 cast. I think Q should not be on the Survivor 50 cast. There's so many people on that cast that I just don't care about. And like, even a lot of the older players, I have no desire to watch play again. Like, I don't give a fuck about Ozzy. I stopped giving a fuck about Ozzy when he was fucking people online for OnlyFans money. Like, I'm shocked they brought him back. Because not only did Ozzy become a fucking OnlyFans model, which insane, but he also like talked so much shit about Survivor the show. Like, he kind of tried to remove himself from Survivor. And you know, I guess he has tried to mend those bridges, and maybe he's successfully repaired those bridges because he's on Survivor 50. But like, I don't care. Yes, yeah. Ozzy was like, it wasn't like softcore. It wasn't like how a lot of people do OnlyFans where they'll like post pictures of them in like cosplay outfits that are maybe a little skimpy or revealing. No, Ozzy was full on making porn and is somehow on Survivor 50. And I'm not saying that as like a holier than thou type person where like, if you make porn, you should lose all job opportunities and you shouldn't be able to play Survivor. But I think it should lessen your chances. And when you have a season like 50 where the best of the best should be on the show, Ozzy's proven that he's washed. He's past his prime. Like, him on fucking, why am I blanking on the name of the season? South Pacific. Ozzy on South Pacific was not a likable character, nor was he that good at the game. He was constantly getting blindsided by even his own tribe. And then Ozzy came back for Game Changers and also was not a likable character and not that good at the game. So I think it's the mixture of everything that annoys me. Like, Ozzy has proven he's past his prime and not a good player. He started making porn, which should lower his chances. And he talked so much shit about Survivor the show. And while I understand he no longer holds those opinions and he doesn't feel that way anymore, like, all of that combined should take Ozzy off the cast and replace him with someone who deserves it. And again, I'm not trying to say that, like, just because he made porn, he should be on the show. But, like, you get someone like Jesse from Survivor 43, who is a better Survivor player than Ozzy, and doesn't make porn. Maybe he deserves to be on the cast a little bit more. I don't know. It makes me mad. Because, like, why would I give a fuck about Ozzy? And, like, respectfully, love Cirie. But, like, why do I need to see Cirie again? She's already been on Survivor 4 times. Yeah, she's been on Survivor 4 times. She's been on Big Brother once, and now she's been on Australian Survivor. And she's been on the Traitors. Like, I've seen Cirie enough. And maybe I'm in the minority when it comes to that opinion. Maybe the reason they brought Cirie back for Survivor 50 is because the fans love her, and they just want to see more of her. But, like, I'm the type of person where if you've been on Survivor 4 times, if you've been on the Traitors once, Big Brother once, Australian Survivor once, like, hang it up. Let's see someone else play the game for once. Oh shoot, we're a little behind on the reset counter here. Okay. Now they're both the same number. I would have liked to see Kelly Wentworth come back, but I'm also pretty sure she said she was done with Survivor after the Chris fiasco. Yeah, I think she is done, which is a bit of a bummer. Because, sure, she played 3 times, which is a lot, but I still think she is a good player. Like, I mean, maybe if she did play a 4th time, she would be voted out early, and maybe it would be proven that she is past her prime. But I think she's one of those players that is not past her prime yet. At least we have not had that proven to us the same way we've had it proven by, like, Ozzy. Or JT. JT was literally good in 1 season, then terrible in every season after that. Like, there are other Survivor players who are far past their prime, and I don't think Kelly Wentworth is one of those yet. All right, 1900. I think we're going to do 100 more, and then I'm going to go eat dinner, because I'm getting hungry. Plus, I said I wanted to at least get to 2,000 tonight, and we're getting there. We're on our way. Oh, yeah, it is getting a little late, huh? I should eat dinner. All right, I need to focus. I need to bang out these resets quickly. I don't think I've been moving very efficiently tonight, because I've just been ranting about so many different topics that I'm definitely not doing these resets in an efficient manner. I think her social game is amazing, could carry her far almost any season she's on. I agree. I agree fully. I think Kelly Wentworth is, like, one of the best Survivor players to never win. She's definitely up there for me. Like, okay, let's be honest. Speaking of other people who are on Survivor 50 that I don't think deserve to be on Survivor 50, talking about Kelly made me think about another person she's played with, Aubrey. I don't give a fuck about Aubrey anymore. Don't be wrong. Like, in her first season, I was a big Aubrey fan. I thought Aubrey should have won. But then, as she played more and more, I started caring about her less and less, especially in Edge of Extinction, because I think her game in Edge of Extinction was pretty bad. Like, people immediately called her out and noticed that she was just telling everyone the same thing, which is part of why she went out so early, because no one trusted her and no one felt like they could actually work with her. So, like, why are we seeing Aubrey again on Survivor 50? I don't care. She played a really good season her first time and has gone downhill ever since. Every season she's performed worse. I don't need more of Aubrey. I completely agree with you with Aubrey. Yeah, I just don't. It's unnecessary. It's a shame that Aubrey gets a spot when other people don't, who I think deserve it more. Even on Wentworth's last season, the new players had an anti-returner sentiment. She still managed to convince people to go with her before the others. Yeah, she was the last returning player, correct? Like, she was able to survive for way longer than she probably should have when most of the people in that cast wanted the returners out first. And I also agree that she could have done so much better if War Dog wasn't an idiot. War Dog not only sank her game, he kamikazed his game alongside it. Like, he was the reason they both went home. Which still annoys me to this day. Like, if you want to get yourself voted out, fine. Be my guest. But don't take Kelly Wentworth down with you. What the fuck are we doing? That's not cool. I know, right? Yeah. I'm over it. But yeah, a bit of a bummer. What a shame. Anyways. The worst part is, sorry, I'm going back to the topic of why we haven't hit 2,000 resets yet. Because I was talking about how slow we've been moving tonight. I'm not even making that many mistakes. Like, I'm not pressing the wrong buttons or doing the wrong things. We've only made like 1 or 2 mistakes tonight. I think I'm just so distracted by the conversation we're having that I'm not playing very quickly. I'm not playing these 4 games at much of an efficient rate. But that's how you know the conversation's good, so I'm not going to complain. You know the conversation's good when you can't even focus on that video game you're playing. Especially at a time when the tribe is divided and you only have the numbers by 1, you don't get rid of one of your closest allies. Oh, 100%. It was so stupid. Like, it's insane to me that he did that. I understand wanting to get her out before the end, because logically, like, she would have beat him if they both were sitting together at the end. So he needed to get her out eventually, but he did that way too soon. That move was way too early, and that's also why he got voted out. Like, she was almost a shield for him. So I don't understand why he was so willing to just blindside her and lose that shield. Just, I don't know, man. It's so dumb to think back on. Oh yeah, he needed to target her eventually in order to have a chance to win. But that was the stupidest time to even attempt it. 100%. I 100% agree. And you know, I think Kelly is a very smart player, and a lot of people gave her shit for not playing her idol that tribal. but I think it's almost justifiable. Like, I don't blame her for not playing her idol, because I think Kelly knew how stupid it was for her to go home at that tribal, and therefore she probably thought logically she wasn't going to go home that tribal, which is why she didn't play her idol. Because it was a stupid move to get rid of her. And therefore, it would have been a stupid move for her to play her idol. Like, I don't really hold that against her. I know a lot of people online, especially like at the time when that season was being aired, a lot of people like gave her shit for not playing her idol and almost blamed her instead of blaming War Dog. But like, I think it was a misplay on War Dog's part, not Kelly's. Oh shoot. Agreed. Yeah. I don't blame her at all for not playing that idol. But that season was full of stupid moves. So many stupid moves. Like, fucking Lauren using her idol on Chris at 5. That was insanely dumb. I don't know. I hate that season. I have so much hatred for that season, bro. I want to try to bang out these last couple resets so we can go eat dinner. Especially because I have leftover Chinese that I want to eat. Which is so funny because we were just talking about Chinese food in one of my last streams. I was talking about how badly I wanted to get Chinese food, but I wanted to go and get it in person because Chinese takeout usually does not taste that good. And that's exactly what I did. I went and I got Chinese food in person today. And I have leftover Chinese that I really, really want to eat right now. So once we get 2,000 resets, we're going to go end stream and down some dumplings. I was rooting for Lauren, but when she used her idol on Chris, I was absolutely dumbfounded. Yeah. Yeah. It's just so stupid. Sorry, hiccups, sorry. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. As much as I love Survivor, and I'm such a big fan of Survivor, there's so many things about Survivor, or like so many seasons within Survivor that I hate. And maybe I just think that way because I'm a passionate fan. Like, the reason I hate so much is because I love so much. But they're like constantly making dumbass decisions. Same with Big Brother. Like, this season of Big Brother was a complete wash after the White Lotus twist. So dumb. So dumb. I'm not vibing out to this music. Honestly, I think they should have put War Dog as Friar 15 instead of Rick Devens. It's not because I think War Dog is a good player, but I think he's more entertaining. Yeah, he would have fit their casting criteria, which was just who would be entertaining, not who would be a good player. He definitely would have fit that casting requirement. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just sometimes think that we're living in the bad timeline because of some of the things that have happened in Survivor. As well as Big Brother. This season of Big Brother specifically has proven to me that we're living in the bad timeline. We're in the bad place. We were in the good place. Rachel Riley would not have been evicted. First juror this season. I feel like it's been a running trend though with like the last couple seasons of Big Brother where everyone is just so stupid. I don't know how, but Big Brother is somehow able to cast dumber and dumber players every season. Where like no one just even understands the basics of how to play Big Brother. And it's been so frustrating to watch the last couple seasons. I haven't watched this season of Big Brother. I was going to wait till it's over before attempting to watch it. But then I heard what happened to Rachel, and I'm content with not watching it. Yeah, I stopped watching it after what happened to Rachel. And I'm glad, because it's only gotten worse. And also, I don't know if I could take any more live feed content of Vince cheating on his girlfriend with Morgan. Like, it was so fucking disgusting to watch. Yeah, I just hate this season. It feels like it's been a very long time since there's been a season of like intelligent players on Big Brother. Because like, I mean, I guess 24 was okay. Some of the people on there were somewhat smart, but not everyone. And like season 23, okay, so like here's how I'm gonna explain why I think it's been a long time. Seasons 27, 26, and 25 had some of the dumbest players of all time, hands down. So 27, 26, 25, bad players. Season 24 had some smart players, but a lot of the twists I found to be not good, and there were also a lot of players that I found to just be such unlikable people that it made it difficult to watch sometimes. But 24 was okay. It was okay. 23 was also okay, but for some reason, everyone who wasn't in the cookout, literally every player outside of the Cookout Alliance, was a fucking idiot. But 23 was still okay because it had like some good strategic moments. And at least the players within the cookout were relatively smart. 22, that all-star season was kind of just a wash. Everyone gave Cody that win for free. And 21 was bad. 21 was bad. So like the last time I can say that I thought a season of Big Brother was good and had good players was like season 20. And even then, Falte was so stupid. So maybe not. Falte was one of the dumbest alliances of all time in season 20. So, you know, I actually don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer to my own question. I don't understand the whole cheating in Big Brother. Like, do they think their partner won't watch the show? Literally. I think Vince is just a stupid person. And I think in his very small brain, he thinks because, like, him and Morgan haven't kissed or, like, done anything sexually, that is not cheating. But, like, he does things that are so obviously cheating. Like, they hug for, like, 2 minutes straight. They sleep in the same bed. And they've showered at the same time. Not in the same shower, but in showers next to each other. And I just don't understand how you don't think that's cheating. And it's so gross to watch, knowing he has like a girlfriend of 7 years back at home. How's the Charmandering? It's going all right. We're about to hit 2,000, and then I'm probably gonna go eat dinner. But it's okay. I'm still, you know, focused. I'm not upset yet. I'm not tired yet. I'm trying to prevent myself from getting impatient by just reminding myself the odds are 1 in 8,000, and we're nowhere near 8,000 yet. So, you know, I'm not allowed to be upset because we're only 1,900 resets in. Now, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't complain if we got the shiny right now. But I'm not allowing myself to be negative or get upset about it yet. Trying to stay optimistic. And plus, if I stay optimistic, then like every reset could be the one. My mindset is not like, ugh, how long is this taking? My mindset is like, all right, we're gonna get the shiny right now. It's gonna happen right now. I've hit 4,750 on my top LED screen on my DS, and it's starting to die. Oh my god. That's just a little bit worrisome. I actually called it in the second or third week that a man was going to win Big Brother All-Stars. It was so obvious Cody was winning that season. Made a Reddit comment stating how both Danielle and Nicole were playing the game for a man to win. And I gotta say, that comment aged pretty well. Yeah. Especially Nicole. Like, at least Danielle was trying to flip on the alliance here and there. Like, she wanted to get Tyler out unsuccessfully, and, you know. Oh, shoot. My reset counter on screen's a little behind. She wanted to get Tyler out at some points, and she wanted to flip on some of the people on that alliance. But she was never, like, willing to flip on Cody, which is crazy to me, because from day one, Cody was the biggest threat, the most likely person to win. And everyone knew that. But, like, no one wanted to take the shot at him. Nicole was literally playing the game for Cody. It's so crazy to me to, like, watch that season back. I don't get it. I still have the hiccups, bro. Thankfully. Hopefully, when I eat dinner here soon, I won't have the hiccups anymore. What shiny are you going for again, Sampop? I know we already talked about it, but I've low-key forgotten. Alright. Plus, it didn't hurt that he shouldn't have won that first HOH. They never reset the stools, so he knew which ones to not step on. Yeah. Yeah, that competition was kind of a wash. That first HOH was a little silly. Oh, that's right. I remember you talking about Gen 5. Tepic. Gift box simulator. Oh, Lord. That's a bit of a yikes. See, it'd be so cool if the game would just tell me if Charmander was shiny when that picture pops up on the screen of Charmander. That'd save me so much time. I wouldn't have to open my party every reset just to look at this boy. Right, we're almost done here. I think 6 more resets and we're done. I'm gonna go eat my dinner. This is a fun stream though. Especially because, like, I spent the morning working on my car, so I feel like I got a lot done today. I was working on my car. I got Chinese food. We streamed a little bit. I was also working on editing a YouTube video, which I don't know. I don't want to hype it up too much. I don't want to get too ahead of myself because I haven't uploaded to YouTube in years, and I don't know I'm gonna start again. I just, I started working on a video because I was bored and I wanted to test the waters, see if it's worth it to upload to YouTube again. But basically for like the last 2-3 years, I've just been a live streamer. I don't like upload videos much anymore. But maybe we'll do it again. Maybe I'll return to posting full-length videos, not just shorts. Like I said, I started working on an edit. It was actually kind of fun to edit a video again for the first time in a long time, but I don't know if I'll finish it or how long it'll take me to finish it. Yeah, I feel like I've been very successful today. It's been a good day. You know what would make it even better? A shiny Charmander. Crazy thought. We only have 20 resets left though, so I doubt we're gonna get in the next 20 resets. Technically only 5 resets. 5 times we're gonna have to turn these off and on again. Make that 4. What's for dinner tonight? Leftover Chinese food from my lunch. I told you, man, I was in the mood for Chinese. And my lunch was really good. So I'm excited to finish it. Plus, I work tomorrow, and I'm not going to pack that food for work. Hi, Abby. Quite literally 5 times turning this on and off again.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'm going to go eat soon. Bye, Abby. A fine wine with a shiny Charmander. See, that would pair beautifully. I think a wine and a shiny Charmander would be a better pairing than wine and cheese right now. Okay. Alright. 88. I always have to get shrimp fried rice with my Chinese food. So I got bourbon chicken, sesame chicken, and pork fried rice. And then I also got a couple dumplings on top of that. I still have the dumplings. I ate the rest of it. I just didn't finish the dumplings. Alright. I know the odds are low of getting the shiny here in the last like 5 minutes of the stream, but I have high hopes, boys. Sometimes that's all you need. You need blissful ignorance. We'll see. Okay. No dice. Almost at 2,000. You know, honestly, it might take us a while because we're only doing about 500 resets every live stream, but I kind of like that. I'm not getting burnt out. I think that's why I'm still like super excited and I have a lot of energy with the shiny hunt because I'm not burning myself out, and we're just kind of playing a couple hours every day. Like, not every day, sorry. A couple hours every couple days. Like, oh shoot. Like, this is just a fun little way to pass the time every couple days and slowly work on this shiny hunt until eventually, once we get it, we can start playing the game and start hunting some of the easier shinies, like at the game corner. You're probably halfway there, living on a prayer. If only is right. I would be happy if I was halfway there. Like, that would be a blessing to get this shiny within the first 4,000 resets. That would be a genuine blessing. Yeah, it's a good rhythm. Like, I think this would be more frustrating for me, or I would definitely get burnt out a lot quicker if I was trying to do like 3,000 resets a stream. Not only because that would take 6, 7, 8 hours, but probably more than that, actually. Yeah, be like maybe 10 hours. I don't know. I can't do math right now. I'm hungry. I want to eat food. I need food in my belly to be able to do math properly. But yeah, like not only would like doing thousands of resets every stream take a lot longer, but I think it would also burn me out way more. So this has been a good kind of flow. Doing 500 a stream has been a lot more fun for me. And then like when I do have the because also like there are just some nights where I only have a couple hours to stream. Like I was either busy working on my car today or like I was at work, so I only have 2 hours to stream. And this is like the perfect live stream for that bite-sized 2-hour window of time. Meanwhile, like on a day where I have off of work and I have a little bit more time, then we can go play like Donkey Kong Bonanza for 4 hours. And that's a bit more fun for a long stream. Or we can play Minecraft for like 6 hours. And that, again, is a bit more of a fun game for a long period of time. But anyways, we are at 2,000. I'll update the reset counter on screen. And I think we're going to stop here. No shinies tonight, but that's okay. We're a fourth of the way there, by the way. We are 1/4 of the way to 8,000. So, big ups. We're going to keep grinding. The next stream I have scheduled, like on my physical stream schedule, which by the way, if you don't know, my stream schedule, I post it like everywhere. It's on my Twitch page right now, in the panels below. It's on my Twitter, my Discord. I post it to the YouTube page that I stream from as well. The next stream I have scheduled is not for 4 days because I work the next 4 days. But I might do an impromptu, unplanned live stream in 2 days from now when Sonic Racing Cross Worlds comes out, because I want to try that game. We'll see. We'll see. It depends if I'm feeling tired after work, because again, I work the next 4 days straight. So there's a chance when Sonic Racing Cross Worlds comes out, instead of playing the game, I'm just going to go to bed. But again, we'll see. Yeah. I'm at 21.66% right now. The chances of getting a Charmander after 2,000 attempts is 21.66%. That's not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. Also, I'll read this last chat message before I go eat my food. Playing Pokemon Rejuvenation for the first time, tested out. Things were normal, but then I took a break from it. Oh, dude, I hate that. So, that's my worry with a couple games that we started playing on stream and then stopped playing, is when I take such a long break from a game, I have, like, no clue what I'm doing. That was on full display 2 days ago when I played Donkey Kong Bonanza for the first time in a month. I completely forgot, like, the controls and what I was doing in the game. And I'm worried because there's 2 other Switch games we haven't beaten. One of them being Bravely Default, the other one Rune Factory. And I am genuinely worried if I play Bravely Default right now, I won't remember what I was doing in the game because it's been over a month. But that's okay. Gotta, you know, just gotta relearn everything. Anyways, I'm gonna go eat my Chinese food. Have a wonderful night. Thank you to everyone who showed up tonight. Thank you for the people that subscribed on YouTube and hung out in the Twitch chat. I appreciate y'all. And like I said, worst case scenario, I'll be back in 4 days. Live streaming in 4 days. Best case scenario, if I'm not feeling too tired after work the next 4 days, we'll stream earlier. But yeah, have a nice night.